High atop Clear Sky Mountain, the stage is set for a life-changing day. It's the 225th year of the Pioneer Era, and the town is finally hosting its 37th Hunter Awakening ceremony. Chief Instructor Lin Dong shouts for order, holding up a red crystal that determines the future of every kid in the crowd. Those who didn't make the cut trudge away while the qualified candidates are called forward to begin their ceremony. The massive stone array on the platform ignites, glowing with a surge of raw energy. Everyone is losing their minds with excitement. 18 years of waiting finally comes down to this one moment. Dreams are all over the place, from becoming legendary weapon hunters to just hoping to find some rare ore. Wang Xiaoming is already focused on the important stuff, hoping to awaken as a gourmet hunter so he can eat his way across the world. Tucked away from the noise, Lu Xiu keeps his cool, knowing exactly what kind of world he's really in. Being a transmigrator gives him a bit of an edge since he's already familiar with this world's mechanics. In this reality, humanity is barely hanging on to 1% of the land while monsters dominate everything else. Hunters are split into 5 main classes based on original sins, each using their specific powers to protect human territory. Then there are the 2 secret classes, greed and envy, which haven't even been released in the original game. Based on his own personality, Lu Xiu is pretty sure he's destined to be a knowledge hunter. He looks over at Lin Yanyan, who's already half asleep, and figures she'll end up as an element hunter. Lu Xiu is a transmigrator attending the 37th Hunter Awakening ceremony. He spots the top-ranked student, Yi Qianxue, and figures her high grades mean she'll likely awaken as a knowledge hunter. A buddy suddenly jumps him, eager to share some spectacular adult magazines he just picked up. Lu Xiu isn't exactly in the mood for the distraction. Lu Xiu isn't interested in the special mags and shuts the guy down immediately. He's convinced the guy is a lock for the Phantom Beast Hunter class, which is basically the lust category. While everyone else dreams small, Lu Xiu wonders if it's possible to awaken all 5 classes at once. The instructor gives the signal, and the candidates start heading into the center of the array. They step onto the glowing patterns, crystals in hand, waiting for the energy to reveal their path. Everyone is focused, feeling the power surge as the awakening process officially begins. The crystals are meant to intensify their inner sins to trigger the awakening. But as Lu Xiu stands there, the necklace he's had since birth starts burning with a strange heat. He looks down in shock as the artifact starts reacting violently to the energy of the array. Suddenly, a ghostly pair of hands appears, reaching for a glowing treasure chest in the mist. Lu Xiu is pulled into a dark void right in front of the chest, and a sinister voice greets him. The voice belongs to a massive entity cloaked in purple flames. Introducing himself as the god of greed, the shadow offers Lu Xiu the power to fulfill all his dreams. Lu Xiu isn't easily impressed and asks if he can just refuse the offer. The deity doesn't take the rejection well, warning him that there's no turning back now. The darkness swirls around him, dragging him deeper into the spiritual realm. The shadow demands to know what it is that Lu Xiu truly desires. Lu Xiu doesn't hesitate to speak up. He wants it all: to rule as a king, have a massive harem, and achieve total immortality. He looks the god right in the eye and asks if he can actually deliver on all that. The god of greed just stares back, completely stunned by the sheer audacity of the request. The shadow snaps, calling him delusional and trying to force him into submission. That's when the Yinyang necklace flares up with a blinding light. The energy blasts outward, caught in a struggle between the darkness and the new light. The god of greed recoils in sheer terror, unable to believe a human possesses this kind of holy power. The shadow screams in agony as the light completely consumes the void. Back in the real world, the orange glow of the awakening crystal finally starts to fade. Lu Xiu blinks, his mind still racing from the encounter with the deity. He wonders if the whole thing was just a crazy hallucination. Instructor Lin Dong notices him staring off into space and asks if something went wrong. Lu Xiu quickly brushes it off, saying he just lost his train of thought for a second. Suddenly, a system notification pings in his head: awakening successful. Congratulations on becoming a treasure hunter. Along with the title, his stats get a nice +5 boost across the board. A detailed system screen pops up, listing his new class and a set of intermediate skills ranging from archery to item crafting. Lu Xiu is floored. He's played this game for years, but he's never heard of a treasure hunter class before. He realizes this must be one of those secret classes corresponding to greed that the developers only hinted at in his past life. The system rewards him with 2 rare items: a greed treasure chest and a treasure map. The chest is a powerhouse artifact, providing him with storage space, monthly maps, and even an extra class awakening opportunity. He quickly checks the intermediate treasure map that just generated. It points to a location in Breezy Forest, right on the north side of the mountain. He makes a mental note to check it out as soon as he can. Instructor Lin Dong snaps him out of his thoughts, shouting that the ceremony is coming to an end and he's closing the array. Around him, other candidates are cheering as they discover their own classes, like Lin Niannian who's hyped about her new bound weapon. But Lu Xiu isn't done yet. He holds up his crystal and shouts for the instructor to wait. He wants to awaken a second time. The crowd goes silent, with everyone thinking the guy has finally lost his mind or just failed his first attempt. Even Lin Dong is breaking a sweat, shocked because no one in history has ever awakened twice in a single session. Lu Xiu is dead serious, though, and thanks the instructor for the extra trouble. Lin Dong prepares the array again, the glowing red lines pulsing with renewed power on the platform. Lu Xiu is enveloped in a swirl of intense purple energy as the second awakening begins. The instructor grinds his teeth, struggling to keep the massive energy of the array under control. Another ping echoes in Lu Xiu's head, ding. Awakening successful. Congratulations on awakening as a Phantom Beast Hunter. The blue system box confirms the new class, officially making him a dual-class hunter. Lu Xiu's face drops into pure horror. In this world, only people with some peculiar interests are known to awaken as Phantom Beast Hunters. As the ceremony wraps up, the candidates start heading down the mountain, leaving the stone platform behind. Lu Xiu is still reeling, wondering how the hell he ended up with the lust class of all things. He regroups with his friends, Wang Xiaoming and Kai Ping, to see how they did. Wang Xiaoming is over the moon about becoming a gourmet hunter, dreaming of all the food he's going to gorge on to get stronger. The red-haired Kai Ping is equally hyped about being a Phantom Beast Hunter, already planning to catch a fox pet that he hopes will evolve into something more human-like. Hearing that, Lu Xiu realizes the theory about the 7 deadly sins and hunter classes is definitely correct. If gluttony is gourmet and lust is Phantom Beast, then he really should have been a knowledge hunter for pride. The realization hits him like a ton of bricks. If he's a Phantom Beast Hunter, does that mean he's the pervert? Lin Dong interrupts his internal crisis, telling everyone to head down and register with the Hunter Association for their beginner packs. The new hunters are all smiles as they head out, ready to start their journey. A system window details his new class talent, Heart of the Phantom Beast, which lets him gain a portion of his pet's attributes and abilities. Lu Xiu starts planning his next moves, check the map, catch a pet, and head home to let his sister know he's safe. Meanwhile, Lin Dong watches him leave, reflecting on the perfect scores from the assessment. Yi Qinxue, the top student, walks up to the instructor looking frustrated that her trap score was only an A instead of an S. Lin Dong confirms that she got a perfect score, but then drops the bombshell that Lu Xiu did too. He explains the difference. She got a perfect score because she met all the requirements, but Lu Xiu got 1 because the test simply couldn't measure anything higher. Yi Qinxue is stunned, unable to believe that some random guy could actually be stronger than her. Unaware of the drama behind him, Lu Xiu takes a deep breath and looks toward the horizon. The journey as a dual-class hunter is just beginning. The journey leads Lu Xiu down from the peaks of Clear Sky Mountain and into the heart of the bustling town below. Inside the Hunter Association building, a long line of newly awakened hunters stretches across the ornate carpeted hall, all waiting to register their status. Lu Xiu takes his place in the queue, his mind already set on claiming the beginner's gift pack promised to every new professional. He finally reaches the front desk, where Jiang Chunyu, the stern and muscular president of the Hunter Association, looks up from a stack of paperwork to ask about his class. Lu Xiu tells him he awakened as a Phantom Beast Hunter, but he surprises the official by requesting the Weapon Hunter's gift pack instead, figuring a high grade ore is far more useful than a common beast egg. The system confirms the contents of the pack: a chunk of cold pattern iron, a fine grade ore with a natural chilling aura perfect for forging. Satisfied with his choice, Lu Xiu makes his way out of the association, planning to visit the local blacksmith to put the rare material to good use. He returns home to find his adoptive older sister, Fang Tang, waiting for him. Even blindfolded and in a wheelchair, her presence is commanding, bolstered by the towering, light blue-haired guardian void spirit hovering protectively behind her. Lu Xiu gives her the news with a cheerful salute, announcing that he's officially a Phantom Beast Hunter now. Fang Tang gives a gentle, knowing smile, remarking that the class actually suits him perfectly given how much he loved animals as a little boy. Lu Xiu chuckles, agreeing that his history of raising cats in both of his lives might have had something to do with the Heaven's decision. Fang Tang tells him to go buy a cake for a proper celebration tonight, since it's his first official day as a hunter. After tidying up, a sharp click echoes through the house as a door is shut tight. Inside his room, Lu Xiu kicks back and pulls up his holographic system interface, eager to dive into the specifics of his hidden treasure hunter skills. A quick tap activates the chest perception ability, sending out a pulse of energy to scan the surrounding area for loot. A detailed map of Clear Sky Town flickers into existence, marking a treasure route that leads straight to the nearby Qing River. He wastes no time, sprinting through the streets toward the riverbank to claim his first find. With a triumphant shout, he hauls a heavy black iron treasure chest out of the water, its metal surface glinting in the light. He knows he can't expect a top-tier rainbow chest right away, but black iron is a solid step up from the basic wooden variety. He flips the lid open to find a glowing blue skill book titled Focus Strike, a fine-grade technique designed for intermediate-level archery. Blue flames of energy swirl around him as he learns the skill on the spot, boosting his accuracy and physical damage whenever he uses a bow. The system pings with even better news. Opening the chest has triggered his treasure seeker talent, granting him a permanent 2% increase to all his attributes. Lu Xiu is ecstatic, realizing that if he can find enough of these chests, his power will scale far beyond any normal hunter in this world. As the sun begins to set over the horizon, the rooftops of the town are bathed in a warm, golden glow. His next stop is Mr. Tai's blacksmith shop, where the old smith is busy at the forge while his daughter, Kiki, plays nearby with a large stuffed rabbit. Lu Xiu hands over the promised celebration cake to a delighted Kiki, who beams and tells him he's the best. Uncle Tai looks up from his work and asks about the awakening results. He's visibly disappointed when Lu Xiu says he's a phantom beast hunter, lamenting that he won't be able to pass on his forging skills. Lu Xiu rubs the back of his neck sheepishly, but the old smith hasn't given up on him yet. Tai reaches under the counter and pulls out a long wooden case, telling Lu Xiu to take a look at his awakening gift. Inside is a magnificent golden bow known as Ice Blossom, forged from rare wood and spirit deer tendons to strike with a bone-piercing chill. Lu Xiu is stunned. A weapon of this quality is worth thousands of credits, far too expensive to be a mere beginner's gift. Tai gently explains that a hunter's first bow should come from their parents, and since Lu Xiu's parents are no longer around, he wanted to step in and fill that gap. Shaking off the sentimental moment, the smith asks if there was any other reason for the visit today. Lu Xiu pulls out the glowing blue cold pattern iron from his inventory, telling Uncle Tai he'd originally wanted him to forge a weapon from this. The smith examines the rare ore with an appreciative eye, noting it's perfect for a secondary melee weapon like a saber, though he warns he'll have to charge for the labor this time. Tai tells him to go home and enjoy dinner with his sister, promising the new saber will be ready for pickup in 3 days. Kiki waves her hand high in the air as Lu Xiu leaves, shouting a happy goodbye to her big brother. Night falls over the quiet town, and Lu Xiu's thoughts drift to his family. In this world, he was adopted by Feng Tong's parents, who tragically died while searching for a cure for their daughter's condition. He looks at his sister with a determined smile, vowing to find a way to break the curse and heal her body once he grows strong enough. The morning sun rises over the lush green canopy of the surrounding forest the following day. Lu Xiu kneels to double-check his gear as Feng Tang and her guardian spirit watch on. He lets his sister know that he'll be heading out into the wilderness for about 3 days. He gives her a confident grin, telling her not to worry because he's got everything ready and he's no stranger to hunting in the wild. With his gear packed and his resolve firm, Lu Xiu waves a final goodbye to his sister as he steps out into the morning light. High above, the sky is a brilliant, clear blue, dotted with soft white clouds that signal a perfect day for a journey. Back at the gate, Lu Xiu kneels down one last time to reassure Feng Tang. He estimates the hunt will take about 3 days, while she fussily checks if he's remembered his beast-repelling incense and other supplies. He gives her a confident, charming smile, reminding her that he's an experienced hunter who knows exactly how to handle himself in the wilderness. As he strides away, Feng Tang calls after him with a soft voice, her heart heavy with the secret she's keeping but her words focused on his safety. Left behind in the quiet courtyard, a shadow of worry crosses her face, the weight of her hidden life finally beginning to show. Suddenly, a smooth, mocking voice breaks the silence, asking if she's really going to let her brother leave without a proper goodbye or the truth about where she's going. Feng Tang doesn't seem surprised, her spirit already alert as the visitor arrives far sooner than she expected. The man, Lin Dong, stands casually in the garden, his blonde hair catching the light as he stares down at the young woman in the wheelchair. Feng Tang remains cold and detached, her only concern being that her brother is far enough away not to witness what's about to happen. Lin Dong scoffs, noting how much effort she put into holding off the stubborn old fossils of their organization just so she could be present for Lu Xiu's awakening ceremony. He gestures toward a swirling purple void that has begun to tear through the air, beckoning her to enter. With a formal bow, Lin Dong addresses her as Dear Feng Tang, welcoming her back to the mysterious erudite society as she prepares to depart the town. Meanwhile, Lu Xiu is already halfway through the main thoroughfare of the town, oblivious to the high-stakes drama unfolding at his home. An energetic shout of "Brother Lu" stops him in his tracks as a familiar blonde man with a massive travel pack waves him down from across the street. It's Wang Xiaoming, and he's playfully offended that Lu Xiu didn't recognize him right away despite their history together. The two friends fall into step together, passing a lavishly decorated carriage as they catch up on the latest gossip. Wang Xiaoming nudges him with a grin, asking if there's anything romantic going on between him and the famous Yi Qianxue. Lu Xiu can only sigh and admit it's a distant wish. Lu Xiu's expression turns serious as he thinks about the promise he made. He needs to hit level 40 as fast as possible to stand on equal footing with a genius like her. Wang Xiaoming waves as he prepares to board his transport, shouting that he'll write once he reaches South Skyport and wishing Lu Xiu luck on his hunt. As the carriage rattles off into the distance, Lu Xiu is left alone to focus on the immediate task at hand. He makes his way into the bustling Hunter Association Hall, where the air is thick with the chatter of professionals and rookies alike. Before he can even reach the board, a friendly red-haired hunter stops him to ask if he's looking for a party. Lu Xiu politely declines, claiming he's already spoken for. Deep down, he knows he's better off alone. As a treasure hunter, he can't risk anyone else seeing the hidden chests he's destined to find. Now, it's time to see what work is waiting for him. Lu Xiu scans the bounty board at the association. He's looking for something easy, and a rhino quest catches his eye. It's a rock-horned rhino. The reward is solid, 1,000 coins and a rare great skill. Conveniently, his treasure map points right near the orchard where the rhino is hiding. Perfect timing. He heads into breezy forest. It's a nice enough place if you ignore the monsters hiding in the brush. Colorful butterflies flutter everywhere. He notes they're phantom-winged butterflies that change color based on the elements. But he's not alone. Something is watching him from the rocks. A level 6 cyan wolf lunges from the bushes. It's fast, but he's already ready for it. He slides right under the beast, narrowly avoiding its bite. He reaches for an arrow. Ambushing him was a big mistake. He pulls back his bow, aiming straight for the wolf's head. Eat this. Focused shot. The arrow connects with a flash of blue energy. He doesn't stop there, riddling the wolf with more arrows to make sure it stays down. Taking down a higher level mob pays off. He hits level 2 and gets a nice stat boost. He loots the corpse for a venom fang. Treasure Hunter really is an amazing class for efficiency. Suddenly, his map starts pinging. He's entered a 1,000-meter radius of buried treasure. The map leads him to a dark, ominous cave. It looks like a typical boss lair. He knows there's likely a guardian inside, so he sets a bear trap near the entrance. He lures whatever's inside out. Time to see what's in the cave. A massive black-eyed boar roars as it charges out of the darkness. It charges straight into the trap. That's definitely going to slow it down. Lu Xiu walks up, completely unbothered. He's even joking about turning the little piggy into a souvenir. One quick stab and it's over. More EXP for the bang. With the guardian gone, he heads deep into the cavern. And there it is. A glowing platinum treasure chest sitting right in the middle of the room. He cracks it open. The loot is insane, permanent attribute boosts plus some high-tier items. First up is an epic grade skill scroll. Beast King's Avatar. He doesn't waste a second and learns it on the spot. The skill is a massive buff, letting him fuse with his pet to gain its stats for 10 minutes. Next, he turns his attention to a mysterious dark crystal he found in the chest. It's a Shadow King egg. An elite king-tier specimen is incredibly rare. He's stoked. Finding one of these this early is basically a cheat code. He uses a drop of blood to form a contract with the egg. The system confirms the bond. He's now the owner of the legendary Shadow King. A swirl of dark energy manifests in the palm of his hand as the beast emerges. Its stats are through the roof. It's got high agility and even higher spirit. It looks like a little blob of darkness, but he knows its shadow fusion ability is no joke. Time for a quick test drive. He commands it to use Shadow Ray. The little guy gathers dark energy into a swirling orb. A massive beam of darkness blasts out, obliterating a rock outside the cave. Lu Xiu is satisfied. With a legendary pet and 2 classes, his journey is just getting started. The sun sets, giving way to a quiet, starry night. Lu Xiu walks down a deserted road leading into the thornberry orchard. He spots a figure up ahead and calls out to Old Man Sha. The owner turns around and asks what brings him by so late. Lu Xiu holds up a mountain boar trotter he caught, planning to knock out a quest while he's there. Sha remembers he just became a hunter but mentions he's a bit late, 3 others already arrived an hour ago. As they head toward the cabin, the old man explains that the beast only comes out at night. Lu Xiu offers to clean the meat and asks if he can crash at the place for the night. Something inside the house catches his eye. A group of hunters is already inside, waiting for the hunt to begin. One of them notices the newcomer and wonders if he's a gourmet hunter since he's lugging around ingredients. His buddy with the pet wolf agrees, figured the kid must have some serious culinary skills. The girl in the group stays quiet, keeping her eyes fixed on the entrance. Lu Xiu sizes them up, identifying them as weapon, phantom beast, and knowledge hunters based on their gear. Suddenly, a massive thud shakes the entire cabin. The group tenses up as they realize the sound came from right outside. The swordsman wonders if the rock-horned rhino has finally shown up. Sure enough, a massive shadow emerges on the road. It's a level 16 rock-horned rhino, its eyes glowing red as it spots its prey. The beast lets out a roar and charges straight ahead. It slams right into a glowing trap set across the path. The beast tamer moves in to strike while the creature is momentarily caught. He's already excited about the payday, but his leader tells him to focus on taking it down first. The rhino shakes off the trap, shrugging off the pressure as the team prepares to engage. The leader charges head-on while the others try to harass its flanks. They unleash a barrage of skills, hoping to break through the creature's thick defenses. But their weapons just spark off the rocky hide without leaving a scratch. The swordsman leaps into the air, putting everything into a heavy strike. The rhino swats him away like a fly, sending him and his pet tumbling back. The group is stunned. Neither magic nor physical attacks are even scratching the beast. Battered and bruised, the lead hunter admits they're in way over their heads. He decides they have no choice but to abandon the quest before anyone gets killed. They tell Sha they can't handle it and suggest he asks the association to raise the quest star rating. The team insists that novice hunters don't stand a chance against a monster like that. Sha looks disappointed but thanks them for the hard work anyway. He turns to ask Lu Xiu for a favor, only to realize the boy has completely disappeared. Suddenly, a loud boom echoes through the trees. Thinking the rhino has gone berserk, they rush out to check on the rookie. They hurry toward the clearing, terrified that the novice is about to get flattened. They burst onto the scene and freeze in their tracks. Lu Xiu is standing over the dead rhino, holding its massive horn like it was nothing more than a trophy. The expert hunters can only stare in total shock, unable to believe what they're seeing. One of the hunters is absolutely floored, wondering how a single rookie managed to take down a beast that sent him flying with one hit. Lu Xiu just gives a small smirk and says he just did a bit of this and that to pull it off. Earlier, he watched from the shadows as the experts were easily brushed aside by the creature's raw power. The young man knew their basic attacks wouldn't leave a scratch, so he focused on setting up traps to limit the monster's movements. Spotting a large boulder nearby, he decided to use the environment to his advantage. The rhino didn't wait around, charging at him with full force as soon as it saw him. He drew his bow, channeling energy for a high-precision strike. A glowing arrow of pure energy streaked through the air. It hit with perfect accuracy, piercing right through the beast's eye. The creature roared in agony, blood spraying as the arrow found its mark. Even blinded, it didn't slow down, launching into an ironclad charge that tore up the ground. The enraged beast trampled right over a hidden field of spikes Lu Xiu had laid out. He stayed one step ahead, leaping through the trees as he led the monster exactly where he wanted it. He reflects on how advanced trap crafting isn't just about the tools, but mastering timing and using the terrain itself. The pain from the spikes did exactly what he expected. It made the beast lose all control in its rage. The hunter watched calmly, waiting for the perfect opening. Blind with fury, the rhino slammed headfirst into the massive boulder, dazing itself. Lu Xiu noted that it was the perfect time to strike, since the creature's defenses weakened when it focused energy into its horn. He closed in, locking onto the final weak point. One quick strike was all it took to end the fight for good. The kill experience flooded in, and the system notified him he jumped straight to level 6. Back in the present, he thinks about how easy high-level kills are when you know what you're doing. He waves a casual goodbye to Old Man Sha as he prepares to head out. The other hunters watch him leave, still trying to process that the rookie cook was actually a master. The swordsman realizes they misjudged him. No normal rookie would have a spatial backpack that big. The girl in the party watches him go, finding the mysterious Lu Xiu very interesting. Walking down the forest path, he plans his next steps, including getting Uncle Tai to process the horn and meat. Suddenly, he stops, sensing something moving through the trees. He hears a massive herd of beasts approaching from the northeast. He immediately summons the Shadow King to his side. He orders his phantom beast to use its shadow cloak ability to hide him. He presses himself against a tree, watching as the shadow envelopes him. A pack of gray wolves from the sea breeze plains suddenly swarms into the clearing. There are dozens of them, and they seem to be looking for something. He realizes that while the cloak makes him invisible, it doesn't mask his physical presence if they run right into him. To survive, he decides it's time to test out his new skill, Beast King's avatar. Shadow energy swirls around him as he merges with the Shadow King, gaining a temporary elemental body. He notes that since the wolves don't have elemental powers, they won't even be able to touch him in this state. He brings up the system menu to check the specifics of his fusion-exclusive skill. Turning into mist feels strange, but it gives him a heightened sense of everything around him. He unleashes the Shadowmist assassination on the unsuspecting pack. Dark energy spikes rain down, striking every single wolf in the pack at the same time. System messages ping as the level 6 and 7 wolves fall, boosting Lu Xiu's level all the way to 10. Still shrouded in shadow, Lu Xiu notes the massive range of his new skill, though he realizes he needs to target vitals for it to be truly lethal. He's thrilled by the speed of his progression and decides that using this fusion skill daily will be key to maximizing his gains. Looking at the trail of bodies, he wonders if something deep within Breezy Forest is drawing, or even controlling, these beasts. With his Beast King's avatar form nearing its 10-minute limit, he decides to quickly harvest the materials before heading back to the association. He hums to himself while expertly looting the wolf carcasses scattered across the clearing. As he walks away, he's satisfied with the haul of wolf fangs, which should fetch a very good price. Minutes later, a hunter arrives at the scene and is stunned by the sheer scale of the slaughter, wondering if a massive beast was responsible. Identifying himself as Tracker Number 3, he contacts headquarters to report an anomaly at the forest's outer edge. He stares at the hundreds of dead wolves, convinced that a powerful, unidentified phantom beast is roaming nearby. Meanwhile, a large transport beast arrives in Clear Sky Town, carrying important travelers through the city streets. Nie Fengyun and Lin Yufei walk with an air of authority as they are led into an official building. They enter a grand office to meet with a local official, who is clearly surprised to see them. Lin Yufei presents a token of the Golden Assembly, confirming their high status as they begin their business. The official greets the esteemed guests with a bow, asking what has brought such high-level hunters to their town. Nie Fengyun explains that they've received reports of signs of a nest appearing in the area. At the entrance of the Hunter Association, Lu Xiu arrives just as the two experts from the Golden Assembly are leaving. He checks his holographic menu, unaware of the powerful hunters walking right past him. Lu Xiu thinks about getting some dark element materials to feed the Shadow King, deciding to check a shop later. He presents his proof of commission to the staff, along with the wolf fangs from his latest encounter. Noticing the high number of agents, he asks the receptionist if something important is happening in town. She mentions an emergency gathering called by the president, then hands him 1,000 coins and the instant/skill book as his reward. Deciding to do some research, he asks to use the library and signs himself in. He scans the massive shelves, finally locating the section on dark, fire, and light elements. He reads about the Shadow Fiend, a rare dark creature, and discovers that they've been hunted to near extinction by an evil group. The group responsible is the Nest, one of the most powerful and dangerous factions in the hunting world. He reads further, learning they were founded by hunters corrupted by lust who conduct unethical experiments on beasts. Another faction, Ruin, was founded by those corrupted by wrath with the goal of world destruction. The Banquet faction, driven by gluttony, is known for consuming everything in its path. The book notes that knowledge hunters are solitary by nature, while element hunters are often too lazy to form any organization at all. After his research, Lu Xiu heads to a specialty shop and greets Sister Xiu as he enters. Yan Xiu, the daughter of the materials merchant, looks up with a smile and asks how she can help him. He tells her he's looking for dark element materials, specifically pure elemental crystals if she has them. She gives him the bad news: someone bought the town's entire stock of dark and fire materials 3 days ago. Lu Xiu is puzzled, wondering who would need such a massive amount of dark element materials all at once. Xiu mentions that if he needs them that badly, he might have to hunt some dark phantom beasts himself, and she knows just the place. She describes an abandoned dark crystal mine deep in the forest, near Mount Sanglu, where he can find exactly what he needs. He thanks her for the information and waves goodbye as he heads out for his next task. His next stop is a blacksmith shop with a wooden sign that simply says, Tai. Lin Yinyan is overjoyed when she sees him, excitedly taking the cupcakes he brought for her. He enters the workshop, where Lin Dong tells him his timing is perfect. Lin Dong holds up a beautifully crafted, glowing blade and invites him to take a look. Lu Xiu examines the stats of his new Ice Will Cutter, a fine-grade weapon with impressive speed and strength bonuses. Lin Dong explains that he added frost crystal fragments to amplify the ice element, asking for 3,000 coins for the specialized craft. Lu Xiu is more than happy with the price, thanking Uncle Tai for what he considers an absolute steal. He then pulls out a large, treasure-grade material, asking the blacksmith's advice on what it could be forged into. The system identifies it as a heavy rock rhino horn, a rare core organ that controls the earth element and grows incredibly sturdy over time. Lin Dong is impressed, noting that such a high-grade find is quite a haul for a rookie's very first hunt. He suggests the material is best for a warhammer or a staff, advising Lu Xiu to trade it for something that better suits his class. Lu Xiu decides to post an exchange commission at the association, asking the blacksmith to keep an eye out for potential trades. He waves goodbye to Lin Dong and little Lin Yanyan, promising to visit again after his next hunt. Later that evening, Lu Xiu returns to his quiet home, calling out for his sister as he enters. Instead of his sister, he finds a spectral figure waiting for him with a message in hand. The phantom hands over a letter, its translucent form glowing faintly in the fading light. Lu Xiu is confused, asking if the letter is from his sister as the phantom begins to vanish into thin air. He tries to call out to the disappearing spirit, but it leaves him alone in the yard with nothing but the note. The letter is brief, stating that his sister has gone to seek medical treatment and telling him not to worry. Lu Xiu is skeptical of the sudden decision, wondering if she finally felt she could focus on her own needs now that he's become a hunter. He realizes he has no way to find her and must wait for her return, resolved to grow stronger in the meantime. If she doesn't come back soon, he vows to become powerful enough to go out and find her himself. The next day, deep in breezy forest, the sun filters through the thick canopy above. Nie Fengyun finds traces of wild lust incense, confirming that the notorious Gu King from the nest is active in the area. His companion is horrified, recalling how the Gu King once caused an entire city's residents to slaughter one another. A scout reports that they've located intense elemental fluctuations near Mount Sanglu, where phantom beasts are beginning to gather. Nie Fengyun gives the order to move out, and the group speeds toward the source of the dark energy. At the abandoned dark crystal mine, Lu Xiu prepares to test his instant slash on the dark claw moles lurking in the shadows. Lu Xiu winds up a move called instant slash. It's a basic hunting skill, but its damage scales with his agility, making it perfect for quick takedowns. He lets it rip, tearing through a phantom beast in one clean motion. A notification pops up. He just took down a level 5 dark claw mole and pocketed some experience points. Lu Xiu looks over at the Shadow King, who's basically having an all-you-can-eat buffet on the monster carcasses. Hunting like this is way too easy when you have a legendary pet. Suddenly, his treasure perception kicks in. He's found something. There's a chest hidden deeper in this cave. He realizes these things spawn way more often out in the wild, so he's going to have to do a lot more exploring to maximize his gains. Following the trail deeper, he finds a pile of monster carcasses that have already been shredded. At the end of the tunnel, there it is, a bronze treasure chest sitting right next to a massive dark crystal. Talk about a lucky break. Lu Xiu wonders if his luck is actually this good, or if that destiny coin Yi Qinxue gave him is finally paying off. But something feels off. A crystal this big should have been eaten by the moles by now unless something much bigger is guarding it. He deals with one more mole monster trying to sneak up from behind. Just then, a massive shadow lunges out of the darkness with incredible speed. It's a level 15 rock beast, and it's already got a mole in its jaws. Looks like it was using the smaller monsters as bait. Lu Xiu realizes the beast is just a measly rock predator, but it's still stronger than anything he's faced so far. He readies his blade. He strikes first with another instant slash, moving like a blur. The beast lets out a deafening roar as the hit connects. Lu Xiu decides it's time to stop playing around and commands the Shadow King to attack. The order is simple: Shadow Ray. The beam of dark energy blasts right through the beast's throat, dropping it instantly and netting Lu Xiu a massive XP bonus. Opening the chest gives his stats a permanent 3% boost. Not a bad reward for a quick fight. He checks out his new loot, an Earth Marsh token that lets him tunnel underground like a pro. He also snagged an Earth Spike talisman for setting instant traps. These are exactly the kind of tricks he needs to stay alive. Lu Xiu is pleased with the haul. It's one more trick to keep him ahead of the game. He tells the Shadow King to fill up on the dark crystal because it's time to head back. They'll save the rest for later. Lu Xiu steps back out of the cave. The weather's turning sour, and he doesn't feel like getting soaked. He considers checking one more spot before calling it a night. Heavy dark clouds are already rolling in over the trees. He makes his way toward the rampaging bear territory. He spots a fresh track on the ground, a massive paw print from a phantom beast. These prints are everywhere, all heading east. The whole forest is weirdly quiet, which usually means something is wrong. A voice suddenly cuts through the silence, telling him to turn back because it's dangerous ahead. It's a hunter specialist, standing watch on the path. Lu Xiu is surprised to see someone of his rank out here. Lu Xiu asks what's going on, but the guy just tells him it's classified and to clear out. Lu Xiu plays it cool and agrees to head back toward town for now, but he's not actually giving up. He'll just wait for the storm to pass and come back later to finish his mission. The specialist watches him go, glad to see a rookie who actually knows how to follow warnings. But as Lu Xiu walks away, his treasure perception pings again. He can't believe it, another chest is nearby. Is today his lucky day or what? The map points him right toward the exact same direction the specialist just warned him about. That's a problem. He stops and thinks it over for a second, weighing the risk. Screw it. He's got his shadow cloak, so he figures he can just sneak in, grab the loot, and vanish before anyone's the wiser. Deep in the breezy forest, things have taken a dark turn. The forest floor is littered with the carcasses of slaughtered phantom beasts. A massive white tiger is in the middle of a feeding frenzy, tearing through a bear-like beast with zero mercy. This isn't just nature taking its course, the tiger's eyes are glowing with an eerie, unnatural green light as it feeds. It lunges at its next victim, leaving a trail of blood in the dirt and shredding anything that gets in its way. The beast looks completely feral, its body wreathed in black wisps of energy that seem to pulse with every kill. Watching from the sidelines is Du Shixin, a cadre from the villainous organization known as Nest. He explains they're using a brutal, gu-refining method to cull these beasts for their own ends. His companion, Fang Ming, seems pretty impressed with the results. He's just a member of the organization, but he clearly enjoys the carnage. Fang Ming credits the success to a blood sacrifice array, noting that Du Shixin and his own brother are definitely cut from the same cruel cloth. Du Shixin mentions that this is the very last gu spring they have access to, making this ritual their last chance for success. Down below, the tiger is now shredding a lizard-like beast as the refinement process reaches its final, violent peak. But Du Shixin isn't here to play games. He warns Fang Ming that if this ritual gets interrupted again, their partnership is officially over. Speak of the devil. A massive shockwave suddenly hits the ground, kicking up a wall of dust and debris right in front of them. Someone just made a very loud entrance, and the Nest guys are not happy about the company. It's Nie Fengyun, the commander of the Golden Assembly. People call him Heaven's Wrath, and he's definitely living up to the name. Du Shixin and Fang Ming face him, knowing this just became a life-or-death situation. Nie Fengyun doesn't mince words. He's dedicated his life to tearing Nest out by the roots, and he isn't stopping until they're all gone. Fang Ming is absolutely terrified. Apparently, Nie Fengyun has already personally taken out 5 high-ranking cadres from their organization. Du Shixin is a realist. He knows he can't take on someone this tough without being prepared, so he immediately orders a retreat. Fang Ming is desperate to stay. His tiger is at a critical stage of its mutation, and he only needs a few more minutes to complete the transformation. Du Shixin doesn't care about the pet. He threatens to kill Fang Ming himself if the kid keeps defying his orders. He gives Fang Ming exactly 5 minutes to finish up at the spring, but he's doubling his fee to Fang Ming's brother for the added risk. Nie Fengyun isn't just going to let them walk away. He steps forward, and his intent is clear. He charges up a massive amount of fire energy in his fist, ready to end this quickly. He isn't holding anything back, pouring all his power into this single strike. He unleashes the Lion's Roar Fist, a giant blast of flames shaped like a prowling lion that consumes everything in its path. The explosion levels the area, but Fang Ming manages to scramble away through the dust just in time. Elsewhere in the forest, a red streak of energy cuts through the air, nearly taking someone's head off. Lin Yufei, another member of the Golden Assembly, steps into the fray with his glowing red sword. Fang Ming is caught off guard, demanding to know who else is trying to spoil his big moment. He calls out his own phantom beast, a bipedal rabbit-like creature with arm shields, to face the newcomer. But Lin Yufei is a pro. He introduces himself with the calm confidence of someone who does this every single day. He lunges forward, telling Fang Ming that he's got a death wish for messing around in these woods. Meanwhile, our protagonist Lu Xiu is having a much more productive afternoon. He just found a black iron treasure chest and cracked it open. Inside, he finds a Tailwind Sprint talisman. It's a fine-grade item that boosts movement speed by 25% for 5 minutes. Lu Xiu is a little disappointed that he searched all this time just for a consumable, but hey, it's better than nothing. He looks over at the massive battle happening nearby. With all these high-level hunters and beasts slaughtering each other, he figures it's the perfect time to ghost. no need to look for trouble. He slips away quietly, keeping his head down as the forest turns into a war zone behind him. Back at the ritual site, the tension between Du Shixin and Nie Fengyun is reaching a breaking point as they prepare to clash again. Lu Xiu catches a glimpse of the chaos one last time before making his exit. Suddenly, the tiger beast lets out a deafening roar. The shadow energy around it explodes as the transformation finally completes. Fang Ming gets his second wind, looking smug while Lin Yufei realizes things just got a whole lot more complicated. In the center of the slaughter, a red core pulses with dark, vine-like shadows. Something truly apex has just been born into the world. The creature that just crawled out of the carnage is the level 25 evil ghost path, Purgatory Carnage Tiger. It looks like it walked straight out of a nightmare. Fang Ming is shouting for his beast, Crimson, to protect him, while Lin Yufei is just trying to figure out what the hell is happening. Apparently, someone threw a bait bomb to lure the tiger right to them. Lin Yufei is shocked. A bait bomb? That's a risky move even for a pro, let alone in the middle of a war zone. The tiger lets out a deafening roar, towering over Lin Yufei. The guy can only mutter a crap as he realizes he's in way over his head. Suddenly, an arrow streaks through the air with a high-pitched whistle. Someone else is joining the party. The arrow hits the tiger with a massive impact, distracting it just as it was about to turn Lin Yufei into a snack. High-level hunters are everywhere today. Our protagonist Lu Xiu steps out from the shadows, looking like he's finally decided to stop being a spectator. He's hooded, mysterious, and carrying a very powerful-looking bow. He stands his ground as the tiger turns its glowing red eyes toward him. This is exactly the kind of trouble he was trying to avoid, but here we are. Lin Yufei is confused. Is this newcomer actually trying to save him? Meanwhile, Fang Ming is just pissed off that his ritual is being ruined yet again. Lu Xiu isn't here for the drama, though. He calmly tells his system to open his inventory, prepping for the next move. He draws his bow, the energy around the arrow glowing with a sharp blue light. He's locking on, focusing every bit of his intent. Focus strike. He lets the arrow fly, and it's a direct hit, trailing a wake of wind and energy. He's moving fast, keeping the pressure on the beast while staying out of reach of those massive claws. The tiger roars in pain and frustration. This human is proving to be a much bigger problem than the others. Lu Xiu realizes the beast's defense is insane. A normal arrow barely scratched it, so it's time to bring out the big guns. Or big talismans. He decides to give the tiger a literal taste of his inventory, thunderburst and fireburst fruits. Explosive snacks for an explosive situation. The tiger is surrounded by glowing orbs of elemental energy. This isn't going to end well for the big kitty. A massive series of explosions rocks the forest. Dust, smoke, and debris fly everywhere. That's a lot of firepower for one tiger. Lu Xiu waits for the dust to settle, wondering if his little science experiment actually worked. But as the smoke clears, the tiger is still standing, its silhouette looming through the haze. Talk about a stubborn monster. Lu Xiu quickly slaps down an Earth Marsh token, turning the ground beneath the beast into a sticky, immobilizing trap. He's a regular MacGyver of talismans. The tiger is incredibly strong, even all those traps and explosives didn't do any real damage. Lu Xiu is starting to get impressed. Just a little. The beast is still coming for him, its fury only growing. Lu Xiu realizes he can't win this in a straightforward head-on fight. It's too tanky. He gives a little smirk. If brute force doesn't work, he's just going to have to use a few more tricks from his bag. Strategy over stamina, every time. The tiger roars, vicious flame charge, and turns into a literal fireball of rage, charging right at him. This is the definition of a boss move. Lu Xiu just stands there, seemingly unfazed. Bring it on, he mutters. He's got something up his sleeve. He crouches low, placing his hand on the ground. He's prepping a carefully prepared trap of his own. Timing is everything here. The tiger lunges, a blur of black and white fur and burning heat. Lu Xiu doesn't move until the very last second. Talk about nerves of steel. A massive pit opens up under the tiger's feet with a loud boom. The beast goes down hard, caught completely off guard. The tiger falls into a deep, spike-filled crater. It's a classic pitfall trap, but Lu Xiu's version is definitely more lethal. Level 25 monster. Meet gravity. The tiger is trapped at the bottom of the pit, roaring in a mix of pain and pure, unadulterated fury. It's not used to being the prey. Lu Xiu looks down from the edge of the pit. The beast is still trying to claw its way out, but it's struggling. The king of the forest looks a bit pathetic right now. He reveals his master plan. The arrows he shot earlier weren't just for show. They were coated in poison widow spider venom. 50 times the usual dose. That's enough to drop a dragon. Let's see you climb out of my trap now, big kitty, he taunts. He's finally got the upper hand, and he's clearly enjoying the moment. He watches as the poison starts to take effect, noting that Du Shixin's ritual was no joke if the tiger is still holding on after all that. Respect where respect is due. Now comes the real play. He calls out his Shadow King and wonders if it can use shadow fusion on a mutated phantom beast refined from the goo spring. This could be game-breaking. The Shadow King emerges as a mass of swirling dark energy, descending into the pit to claim its new host. Shadow King, use shadow fusion. Lu Xiu commands. A system notification pops up. Shadow King successfully activated innate skill, shadow fusion. The tiger's race and stats are changing before his very eyes. It worked, he exclaims. The resulting creature is the 9 Nether Purgatory Tiger. It's no longer just a monster, it's Lu Xiu's ultimate weapon. And it looks absolutely terrifying. The stats screen is insane: Strength 171, Agility 127, Constitution 180. It's got talents like Slaughter and a king skill called Great Dark Heaven. This thing is a total cheat code. Lu Xiu is ecstatic. King, mutated, and limit modifiers all on one beast? That's unheard of. He's basically just stolen the Goo organization's greatest achievement for himself. Talk about a lucky break, but he knows he can't hang around. The Goo organization's people will be back soon to check on their prize, so he needs to cure the tiger's poison and get out of there, fast. Time to move. As the dust settles, a sharp edge cuts through the grass, signaling that the real fight is just beginning. Fang Ming's beast, the muscular rabbit-like Crimson, lunges through the clearing with a look of pure aggression directed straight at Lu Xiu. Lu Xiu stands his ground, looking remarkably calm for someone about to be pulverized. Behind him, the 9 Nether Purgatory Tiger stands tall, its body wreathed in a sinister, shadowy aura. Fang Ming is completely bewildered. A 9 Nether Purgatory Tiger, he mutters, unable to comprehend why the beast looks so drastically different from the one he was tracking. Thinking he can still salvage the situation, Fang Ming decides to try and force a contract with the beast right then and there. He projects a glowing geometric seal, shouting for the phantom beast to submit. But the tiger just stares back, unimpressed by the attempt. The realization hits him like a physical blow. The contract failed, which can only mean one thing: someone else has already claimed it. Fang Ming points a trembling finger at Lu Xiu, his face contorted with rage. Damn it, did you already contract it? Lu Xiu's silent, knowing look is all the confirmation he needs. Fang Ming's temper boils over. He's wasted countless resources and even had to beg his brother for this prize, only for a backwoods hick to snatch it away. He screams for Crimson to kill Lu Xiu on the spot. Crimson doesn't hesitate, launching itself into a high-speed charge aimed directly at Lu Xiu's head. Lu Xiu barely flinches. Getting worked up already, he taunts, a small smirk playing on his lips. Too bad for you, I know how to burrow. He slams an Earth Marsh token into the ground, activating the burrow skill as the earth turns to liquid beneath his feet. Crimson's massive fist slams into the mud where Lu Xiu stood a split second ago, the impact sending shockwaves through the forest floor. Lu Xiu keeps a watchful eye on his opponent from his temporary safety, waiting for the perfect moment to counterattack. Crimson scans the area, confused by the disappearance of its target, unaware that a much greater threat is now closing in. The massive silhouette of the 9 Nether Purgatory Tiger looms over Crimson, its sheer presence casting a dark shadow over the clearing. The smaller beast freezes in terror as it looks up at the monster Lu Xiu has created. It's no longer just a tiger, it's an apex predator of the shadows. The tiger's eyes glow a menacing red as it prepares to unleash its devastating power. This isn't going to be a fair fight. Shadow roar. The tiger lets out a deafening blast of dark energy that knocks Crimson back and shatters the surrounding landscape. Crimson manages to brace itself, but the sheer force of the shadowy wave is almost too much to handle. The gap in power is becoming painfully obvious. Lu Xiu resurfaces and wastes no time giving his next order: Purgatory Tiger. Flame dash. the beast ignites with a terrifying black fire. A desperate Fong Ming screams for his beast to enter a blood frenzy and counter with a leaping heavy punch. It's a do-or-die moment for him. Crimson activates Phantom Beast technique, Zeal, its entire body glowing with a fierce red heat as it prepares for one final, explosive collision. The two monsters clash in a spectacular display of shadow and flame, the impact shaking the very foundations of the breezy forest. Only one will stand after this. A massive energy blast rocks the forest as a hunt gets underway. An arrow whizzes through the air, nearly taking the head off a young man in a blue vest. He catches the flying object mid-air, barely flinching as he lets the arrow pierce straight into his hand. This is Fong Ming, and he's absolutely livid that someone just tried to sneak attack him. His attacker is our main man, Lu Xiu, who's already aiming his next shot with a calm smirk. He lets another energy-infused arrow fly, sending it streaking through the tall grass. Fong Ming isn't taking chances and activates a glowing blue shield called the life-protecting orb. Seeing his arrows deflected, the archer stays cool while his opponent pulls out a mysterious card. Lu Xiu decides it's time for the heavy hitters and calls on his purgatory tiger to transform. A massive shadow erupts from the creature, turning it into a terrifying elemental beast. Not to be outdone, his opponent tosses a water snake talisman to even the odds. A giant serpent made of water lunges out of the ground, ready to swallow the protagonist whole.